This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 635.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology.
Why? Hello, everybody. This is Adam Silvey, host of the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. There are none next weekend. So the weekend is free for you to do what you want, but you should go back and watch a most recent, not an old, but a recent WordCamp talk that you might find interesting, learn something new. Do that. All right, WordPress.tv. All right, moving on, segment one in the news. Two things to talk about here. First is that WordPress 7.0 has a new release date, and that date is May 20th. So it's a Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. That is in about 3 weeks from the recording of this episode. Yeah, about 3 weeks out. So that's pretty cool. New date. And also, apparently, hackers have exploited a file upload bug in the Breeze Cache WordPress plugin. Bleeping Computer had a big article on this. I'll put a link in the show notes to it. Check that out. If you're using that caching plugin, you're going to definitely want to update this for sure, because apparently it's from Cloudways, and it has more than 400,000 active installations. So definitely want to make sure you update that as soon as possible. Is that it in the news? Yeah, that's it in the news. All right, moving on. It's segment two, the meat and potatoes of this week's episode. And this week, I'm talking about something that might make you a bit uncomfortable as it's connected to sales. And many people just don't like that part of the business. But specifically this week, I'm talking about upselling. And yeah, I know. The word sales and upselling can make people feel weird, a little salesy, a bit like the used car lot, right? But here's the thing. If you're doing client work, especially in the WordPress world, and you're not upselling, you're probably leaving money on the table. And more importantly, you're probably leaving results on the table for your clients. So that being said, I want to walk through a few ways to approach this in a way that actually is helpful, natural, and honestly part of just doing good work. So that's where we're coming from this week, okay? And I think I have, how many areas of focus do I have here? I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. Didn't mean to do that, but there you go. All right. So that being said, let's start with the reframing of the upsell. It's not just about squeezing more dollars out of the client. It's really about solving more of their problems. And that's it, right? I've seen this many times. Clients come in, they ask for a website. Cool, great. You build them a site, looks great, launch it, everyone's happy. And then 3 months later, crickets. No traffic, no leads, no conversions. And you sit there thinking, well, yeah, because you actually needed some SEO. You needed maybe more content, maybe some email capture, maybe even a simple funnel. But we didn't bring it up because we didn't want to oversell. That's not doing the client anything from a favor perspective. That's just plain small. So there's that reframing. That's section one. Section two is the easiest win, the discovery. If you take nothing else from this, upselling really starts in discovery. This is where margin is either protected or quietly destroyed later down the line. If you're just taking orders, 5 pages, contact form, let's go, you're boxing yourself out from day one. But if you slow down, ask better questions. For example, how are you getting customers today? What's working for you? What's not working for you? What happens when someone fills out your form? Are you tracking anything? Now you're opening the doors. This is where I love to introduce phased approaches. Hey, we can absolutely get the site launched as phase one, but phase two could be the SEO or conversion tracking or landing pages, specifically to an initiative that they're doing. And this is also where you get to say good, better, best really can come into play. Not in a sleazy way, just options. Option A, get you online. Option B, get you online and optimized. Option C, actually help things grow, okay? Now, the client gets to choose instead of you trying to sell. Okay, now on to packaging, making it easy for them to say yes. The biggest mistake I see, everything is custom. Every proposal built from scratch. Now, that might be necessary if you're doing very bespoke custom work, but every service is explained from scratch. That's not ideal necessarily. It's hard to do things, and upselling harder. It makes upselling harder than it needs to be. If you have clear packages, upselling becomes natural. You're not inventing something new. You're just saying most folks at your stage go with option, fill in the blank. basic website, maybe plus SEO, plus ongoing content, et cetera, or hosting only, hosting and maintenance and performance and reporting. You're guiding, you're not pitching. And from a margin standpoint, this is huge because packaged services are easier to deliver, easier to scope, and way less likely to spiral into, can you just also add this little thing here? That kind of territory, right? Okay, so then now moving from there into where the real money is, the post-launch. Here is the big one. Most people stop selling once the site launches. And that's wild because that's where the real work should start. The launch is not the finish line, it's the starting line. And this is where you can introduce performance improvements, SEO work, content creation, conversion optimization, analytics and reporting, search, AI. That's a big thing these days, right? The AI is for implementation, MCP integrations. And, I used to frame this as phase 2 or continuous improvement because clients get it. No one expects to go to the gym one time and be in shape forever. Same idea. And this is where retainers come in. Instead of chasing one-off projects, you're building ongoing relationships. 25 hours a month, 35 hours a month, whatever your model might be, that is a very predictable revenue. And the client has a partner, not just a vendor. Now, moving into another section here is using data to really drive that upsell, because the upsells don't feel like upsells if they're coming from data or even some simple observations, comments and thoughts like, hey, your traffic has gone up, but conversions are flat. Your mobile landing time is kind of rough, and it's probably hurting you. You're showing up in search, but no one's clicking. Why is that? Now, you're not selling here. You're just pointing things out. And the natural next question is, okay, what should we do about it? And that comes from the client. And that's the moment, not during the proposal, not out of the blue, but right there in that conversation. So that leads me to the soft upsell, playing the long game. Not everything needs to be a formal pitch. It just doesn't. Some of the best upsells come from just saying, but staying in front of the client and being noticeable and being noticed, right? Sending them a video of something that they might find useful. Maybe a monthly report. Hey, I noticed this email that has something to do with their industry. No pressure, no pricing attached right away, just connecting the dots, right? Paying attention. And over time, that builds trust. And it positions you as someone who really cares and is paying attention for them on their behalf. So when they're ready to invest more, you're the obvious choice. Now, one thing I want to call out here is the quick gut check, what not to do, because you could do things that could go sideways. You don't want to upsell stuff they just don't need. That's going to catch up to you. It's bad karma, in my opinion. Don't stack tech just to make things sound fancy, because again, it's a waste of energy and time. Don't underscope a project and then try to upsell your way out of it. That is a margin killer. Make sure you do that scope and discovery from the get-go. And don't wait until you need revenue to start thinking about upsells. This should just be how you operate consistently, ongoing, matter-of-factly, right? Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm gonna wrap it up here. At the end of the day, upselling, when done right, is just good service. You're helping clients see what's next. You're giving them options, and you're building a business that isn't stuck in one-on-one or one-and-done projects. Honestly, it makes the work more interesting as well, because you're not just building sites, you're helping things grow. And that is what we want to be able to do here, including on your own business side of things, right? Okay. So there's that. I hope that helps. Upselling, doesn't need to be scary, doesn't need to be cheesy or sleazy for that matter. Okay. Moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This one is I heard about this on a podcast. It is a YouTube channel called cultrepo.com. It's about the team over at cult.repo or cultrepo.com. Yeah. Never heard about them, but they make documentaries about open source projects and these little short films as well. So pretty cool. I already have them in my queue. I'm downloading a few to watch offline as well. And check it out over at cultrepo.com. I think that's the right URL. I'll double check here real quick for you in real time. Yes, cultrepo.com. CULT repo.com. So check that out. Pretty cool. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that speak pipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, you can become a Patreon or buy me a coffee. Ways to do that on the website. If you want to sponsor the show, that's awesome as well. Fill out the form. I'll get right back to you. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye.